Boucher here, the Warlord. Special guest, I'm very excited to announce. I'm sitting here with Steve Turner, aka the greatest troll of our generation.
That's what some people say, Kenny.
I just want to let everyone know I've been friends with Steve Turner since, I want to say, the early 2000s.
Exactly.
We became friends in the old deathguard.org forum.
That's right.
And we've been kicking it ever since, and I'm very happy to bring him into the Beats Laboratory in Durham, North Carolina, his hometown.
It's really great to be here, and it was a real treat for my vacation this week.
Today, obviously, Chaos is strong. So what I got here today is my classic Chaos Space Marines with my 2 sorcerers on bike, my sweet little conversions where they're on horses. I got my 10 Nurgle Spawn as usual because I just love them so much. It's one of the spiciest units in the actual Chaos Space Marine Codex because everything in there sucks, basically. You know, like the Space Marines are terrible, Cultists are just there to die. This is the only unit I actually like for its points. I have my 2 squads of Chaos Cultists. Today I'm using my Heretic miniature Romero-style zombies in their little blood pits. We got my Malafine. I normally go with 2 Malafines. I'm doing 1 because I also wanted to show off my new Soul Grinder. This is my Slanesh Soul Grinder on a base. I just finished him. I'm very excited about him. And I'm very interestingly going in with the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage from the Demon Codex. The White Dwarf released rules for him to have access to gifts. He can take any of the greater gifts, anything that a regular Demon Prince could take or a greater demon. So he has double greater gifts, and I got my 16 pink cores. So my theme of my army is absolutely the spawn and the mobility here. I've got my armor, and I sling psychic powers. The thing that I love about this army is that it's very balanced and very little on spam. The only thing I'm really spamming here is 2 squads of Nurgles spawn, but that's not really that spammy. That's just redundancy. And then I have this Malafine, this guy, I mean everything. It's a little bit of everything. And the coolest thing about this Chaos Force is I've every god represented. Nurgle Spawn, Slanesh Soul Grinder, Khorne Bloodthirster, and Tzeentch Horus. I'm very excited for this 1500 point game.
Hey everyone, I'm here today on vacation in North Carolina with my good friend Kenny, playing his Super Friends list. I have a command squad. It's got grav guns and storm shields. I have a Space Marine Librarian on a bike with a power axe. I have the Chapter Master, standard config with the Shield Eternal, Thunderhammer, Auspex to reduce the cover save. And then I have 2 squads of tactical Marines. I'm not really a big fan of tactical Marines, but this is a borrowed army. And the tactical Marines are going to work pretty good today, as you'll see, because it's going to help keep the Chaos Army legit because I can get objectives in this mission with those guys. Okay, and then attaching to the Death Star, I have the Space Wolf detachment, which is 2 Iron Priests, and then each one has 4 Cyber Wolves. So basically the whole army revolves around, oh, and I have a Rune Priest too. So he's got the Runic Armor for the 2+, but the whole army really revolves around the Death Star. So that's the Super Friend Death Star, and the psychic powers are what will really buff that unit and really put them in the game with the Chaos, and you'll see that it'll be a showdown between my 2 Psychers versus the 2 Chaos Psychers to see which army is able to buff itself the best and also debuff the enemy army. And my prediction is whoever the psychic battle works out the best for will end up winning this game.
Steve, now that you've seen I'm playing Chaos, you've seen what style of Chaos I'm playing, what do you think the challenges and the strategies are going to be for you?
Well, basically the Bloodthirster is what I'm mainly worried about because you have the psychic powers that could potentially buff him depending on what you get, and also because you took him from the Demon Codex, that means that he has access to the rewards and gifts available from that, which is something that he doesn't get with Demon Ken.
He loses Fearless, but everyone says that online. I'm like, he doesn't lose combat very often, brother.
Exactly. So that's my primary concern is how I'm going to prevent him from wrecking my Death Star, which he could very easily
Heard
do.
that. I mean, he's good at it. I mean, that's what the whole Colossal Weapons for. I'm very excited to play this, my first game on the Long War with the Demon version of the D-Thirster. I'll tell you what, you're playing a version of Super Friends that is near and dear to my heart, and I already know it's an uphill battle. If I don't get the right power combinations off, it's going to be a cagey game, so we'll see what we roll, brother.
You got it.
Okay, here's my roll to see who gets to choose their deployment zone.
Let's see, let's roll it off, buddy. You get to pick. All right, Steve won that first roll. You picked the side. Let's see who sets up first, player. Looks like me. I would definitely set up first.
Okay.
Obviously, I set up right on the line trying to go first. I have no fear of seizing the initiative. I just have to assume that he's not. I have some psychic powers to support this formation. I have a Shroud and Invisibles. 1 Invisible, 2 Shrouds. I got Shroud and Invisible in the first sorcerer by Warlord. I rolled Shroud straight up on the second one and it just stopped rolling on it. Telepathy entirely and went to Demonology. Got Incursion and Cursed Earth. Obviously, he's not a demon, so when he doubles, he perils on. It's risky. My Pink Cores rolled up Sacrifice, and my Bloodthirster from the Demon Codex rolled up Reroll Invulnerables and Feel No Pain. One of the, outside of rolling the extra 1 and it will not die, that's one of the better configurations you could possibly roll. That's a 2 and a 3 on the chart.
Hey guys, so here's the strategy behind my deployment. So I went right up on the line because Kenny's army has literally no shooting. I want to get to grips with him just as fast as he does me. And you'll also notice that I put my wolves, cyber wolves, in the back because if there is any shooting, I don't want to lose them because they're going to be very important when we do get into close combat. Kenny got really amazing psychic powers. I got some pretty good ones too, which is going to help counter his, assuming that I can get him off. Okay, so for the librarian, I got a really great combination. Psychic Shriek, Terrify, so you can do the leadership shenanigans, and then also invisibility. So that's invisibility on that Death Star. That's going to give Kenny some problems from sure. And then my Rune Priest, he's also one of the heavy hitters. He got Prescience, you can never go wrong with that one. He also got Misfortune, which is really good. It makes the bolters really good if you have to shoot those for whatever reason. And whatever. Then also he got the one that ignores cover. So that could be really good countering Kenny's shrouding. That's it. Okay, here's the roll to try to seize the initiative.
Oh, that's the opposite, Steve.
Oh well.
Good luck, brother. Let's see what happens. So the strategy behind my deployment for first turn is psychic powers. I'm gonna have to get off the powers I want, weather his first few turns because he absolutely has more mustard on his punches than I do. He has strength 10, AP 1 attacks, he's a chapter master, he might be invisible if I can't block it. So I absolutely have to let him come to me and I have to sell him on my turns. But in the meantime, I have to get in the position to start scoring these progressive objectives. All right, guys, I just juked around a little bit, made a couple of moves. It's time to start rolling the second dice. Let's see how many dice we have. 6 each. So that was a lot of dice, obviously. The first power, obviously, I'm going for my big dog. I'm just gonna sling invisibility to the Soul Grinder. I need 2 successes. I've got 4 successes.
Okay, I'm just not going to waste any of my dice on that one.
Next, I'm gonna bust out a Shroud Aura. I need 1 success. I don't get it, but I have the Spell Familiar. I get to reroll this entire result. There it is on 2 dice.
Okay, I'm not going to use any of my dice again because I don't think it's very high odds of being able to block that.
All right, guys, I'm going for Cursed Earth. This is also a level 1 power. Throwing 2 dice at it. Goes off on 1 dice.
Okay, I'm going to try to dispel this one because he only got off 1. And I really don't want those demons running around with the +1 involved.
There it is, brother.
Got it.
Okay, guys, my other sorcerer is going to try to bust a Shroud Aura out. 1 success.
Okay, I'm going to try to dispel this one too. Same reason, he only was able to get it off on 1 dice.
There it is, brother. Woo! My last power I'm going to try to cast is a Sacrifice from the Zinch Wars to try to make a Herald. Let's see what I get. Goes off. Here's my little Zinch Herald. I'm going to try to equip him with an Exalted Gift, the Grimoire of True Names. Let's see where he goes. Looks like he's going right there. Direct hit. I also get to determine what his psychic power is, and I believe that they get to roll on divination. Zine Charles, so I'm going to roll on divination. Skyre's Gaze is not what I want, I'll just take prescience. Prescience. Okay guys, I'm going to tidy up my turn with a couple of run rolls. This Mauler Fiend, these dudes, those dudes back there. And here's the cool thing, the Slanesh Soul Grinder gets to add 3 to his run roll. And he also has fleet, so I can reroll that. So if he wants to move, he can move 9 inches right now. Also important to note, my Warlord trait was Night Attacker, so it is Night Fight right now. So everyone's juking left and right, making plays. Pretty much got the Shroud bubble to go off everywhere I needed it to. I feel pretty good about my positioning to pick up 2 progressives here in the next turn. And I'm just, like I said, I gotta patiently await his moves.
Okay guys, I'm going to try to get some points the first turn, going for first blood. So using my psychic powers with prescience, it is possible that I could get enough hits on the Mauler Fiend to hopefully immobilize.
Yeah, remember
and also
with
destroy.
Grav, you only need 2 6s. If 2 6s go through, it's 3 whole points.
Exactly, and with prescience, they have a pretty good chance of doing that. So, and then I'll also want to make sure that I kind of spread the squad out so that I'm holding this objective come next turn. Okay, let's see how much additional warp charge I add to my 4. So that's 1 extra warp charge for Kenny and me. Okay, I'm going to put all my dice on prescience, and what I want to do is, like I said, is try to get that first blood. So instead of trying to do onesies, twosies, I want to focus all my power on 1 psychic power.
Yeah, especially since I have 10 dispel dice, you're going to need to get like 2 passes, maybe 3 passes, because 2 passes is tough math. I might get 2 6s, you really need that 3 pass.
Exactly.
So there it is, you got the 4 passes, buddy. All right, let's see if I can't bang out 4 6s real quick. 3, almost.
Okay, I have 2 grab gunners in range. So what my strategy is, I'm going to take those 6 shots with the rerolls and try to grab him out. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to use the orbital strike from the chapter master.
Which is also precious.
Exactly. It's really good, and I always try to use orbital strike in the first turn or second turn at the latest, because as the game goes on, I can't tell you how many
Steve,
times.
I can't agree with you more. Like, if you don't shoot it the first 2 turns, you're never going to shoot it.
Exactly.
The old 3s to hit with rerolls trick.
Okay, here's the 2 rerolls.
3 rerolls.
Oops. That one's hot.
Good, and you have 1 more reroll right here. It is all but 1, that's about as good as you can hope for.
Okay, now here I'm trying to bust out some 6s.
No 6s.
All right, here comes orbital strike from chapter master.
But good thing you're prescient.
Yeah, so here comes the reroll.
There it is, buddy. Looks like you hit him.
Okay, this is ordnance, so I get to roll 2 dice and pick the highest for the armor penetration.
That's a pen, because I'm only armor 12, buddy.
That's right.
Here's my demon save, guys. Failed it.
So AP 1, I need a 5 to take out that forward.
Please don't roll a 5 on my Mauler Fiend, dog.
I'm gonna give it my best shot.
6 does it, buddy. That's a sad Mauler Fiend. Looks like I got 3 cultists in the crossfire here, so let's see if they can make their improvised armor saves. Nope, 3 dead cultists. That's a leadership check on leadership 8. They make it.
Okay, so I was able to accomplish my goals for the first turn. I got first blood, took out a really big threat on the table that I don't have to worry about. Also with the blast or the explosion, it took out 3 cultists, which will prevent Kenny from taking this objective next turn.
Pimping is not easy if you're a Mauler Fiend. The saddest Mauler Fiends are the Mauler Fiends that never get to combat, but at least he didn't get immobilized by a grab gun. That's the worst. We are unfortunately out of position to snag up 2 objectives this turn. I'm gonna have to see if I bring in a unit of cultists and slap some psychic powers and get aggressive this turn, I think. Pushing out the aggressive units, I'm gonna try to get some stuff off. In movement phase, I was able to put Grimoire on the Bloodthirster. That's huge because one of his gifts is reroll invulnerables. So he's got 3 invulnerable reroll right now. He's a beast. But let's see how many psychic dice we get so I can keep this pain train moving. 3. I'm gonna lead off with some of the smaller stuff that doesn't matter, see if I can pull them out. I'm gonna bang out a Shroud Bubble. Goes off on 2 dice. I bet he's not gonna block it. I've got another Shroud Aura coming in. I'm gonna throw 1 dice at it. Reroll that. And I'm gonna use Spell Familiar to reroll it. It does not go off, so that's 3-1 for Steve. I'm going to make, or attempt to make, the Soul Grinder invisible. It doesn't go off, but the Spell Familiar will let me reroll this entire instance. 2 passes.
Okay, I'm going to try to throw all my dice and block that invisibility on the Soul Grinder.
Just barely, but it goes through. I got really lucky there. I mean, math, he had, what, 8 or 7 dice to throw at it. I felt pretty confident with 2 successes. Next, I'm going to try to throw a Cursed Earth up with 2 dice. It goes off, no doubles, so no barrels. And I'll just quickly jump to my last roll. I'm going to try to sacrifice on 1 dice from the horrors in the backfield. It does not go off. All right, it's time. A billion run rolls are coming right up, but first, I just want to show you how fun a Slender Soul Grinder is. This is how far he runs. Didn't even need fleet. I get to add 3 inches to that, so essentially, he gets to go 9 inches if he wants. He can create a blockade anywhere here he wants. I'm probably gonna just try to block the Super Friends a little bit, disrupt them, kind of get in the grill a little bit, bring the Bloodthirster in, and move up my Cursed Earth. Slinging some dice around, doing my thing. Trying to lock down some of these objectives because he has reserves coming in, and I am trying to bully the center field out right now with a pretty strong combo. Bloodthirster right now, because of Cursed Earth, is 2+ invulnerable reroll. This is a combo that is very rare, but when it goes off, it exists. But this is the Bloodthirster I want all Bloodthirsters to be.
Okay, I rolled both of my reserve rolls, and neither tactical squad came in, which I see as being good for me. I'm not really trying to focus that much on the escalation points, but I am more focused on Emperor's Will and also holding that objective in the middle towards the end of the game. So my strategy this turn, Kenny did really good. It's kind of a chess match right now. He threw out his 2 heavy hitters right in the middle. So I either have to try to go for a squad of the Chaos Spawns over to the side, which is a softer unit, or if I can get invisibility off, then, and possibly pre-science, it's possible I could take out that Soul Grinder. The Soul Grinder is the one of the 2 that I should definitely focus on. Right, so I've made my movement phase. As you can see, I'm going to focus on the Soul Grinder. I feel like he's the easier of the 2 to kill, and the 2+ rerollable and vulnerable. Sorry, I don't want to deal with that right now. So my strategy on the Psychic phase is first I want to get invisibility up. That'll also really protect my unit from his heavy hitters. If I can get that off and I have any dice left, enough dice left, then I'll also go for pre-science. Pre-science could be really good. So let's see how many warp charges we get.
5, that's a good start.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to throw 6 dice at invisibility. I need to get 3 passes to put the pressure against the chaos.
Yeah, I have enough dice to block a 2-passer, which is invisibility. He needs 3 successes to just shut my mouth down.
Exactly.
That's a lot of passes, brother. I don't have enough dice to block that, so I'm just going to try to shut down your prescience if it comes to it.
Okay. Okay, here comes the roll for prescience.
Doesn't even pass it. Should have thrown my dice at invisibility.
Oh well, I'll take it. Grab Guns really had not much of a chance versus the Soul Grinder that's invisible with Cursed Earth. So nothing there. So here comes the roll for the charge into the Soul Grinder. that'll just get it.
So I got lucky on the first step. He rolled a really low assault roll. So the strength 10 guys are going to probably not swing. He has a bunch of melta bombs in that command squad, if I remember from his army list.
That's right.
So that's going to be an issue. But we're both invisible, so it's just hilarious. So here's my 4 attacks, needing 6s. Got 1 hit. Let's see if I can wound a guy. Nope.
All right. So my army list, I really load up on melta bombs because to me, melta bomb is a new power fist. 5 points. You can use it against the walkers, like I'm going to use it here. It's also great against monstrous creatures. So basically, the command squad's got it, and I also take it for both of the psychers because they're weapon skill 5, and that really gives them that little extra edge.
Unfortunately, everyone hits Soul Grinder who's invisible on a 6.
Right, it's invisible versus invisible, which is pretty funny. But let's see if I can get a lucky 6. Woohoo! Okay, so here comes the attacks with the melta bombs.
For the result,
Right.
let's see it. You need a 5 or better on 2 dice.
Yes, sir.
There's a glance, and the other one. Leader, roll that sucker.
Woohoo!
And a glance. Cursed Earth. Let's see what happens. Got 2 invulnerables to make. I've got a penetration. If I don't make it, I've got a glance. I do make it. Let's see what the result is on the pen. I'll take it.
Great. Now remember that the Crusher, that Soul Grinder is concussed now because I have a Thunder Hammer.
Well, you still have to hit. You still have to do something with that Thunder Hammer.
That's right.
You have yet to.
Okay. Right. That's right. Good point. So here comes the Chapter Master, looking for some 6s.
Looks like you got one, Pam.
All right. Fishing for a 5 or a 6 here.
Negative. I'm not concussed.
Okay, I'm going to opt to go for the hit and run. People rarely ever do hit and run during their own phase. They want to typically do it during the opponent's phase so they can get out of combat and then reshoot and recharge. However, because Kenny's army doesn't really have much shooting as a threat, getting a good roll might be able to keep me out of assault range from the Soul Grinder.
I was also looking at your deployment. You can also scoot back to your progressive.
Exactly.
And beyond there. So like, that's actually, I mean, hit and run, such a good ability.
It is. It's what makes White Stars work. Okay, Chapter Master is Initiative 5, so we just roll on his base initiative. It doesn't have anything to do with him carrying a Thunder Hammer.
Looks like you made it, brother.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to declare 3d6 inches moving back towards the progressive objective marker for the Maelstrom point. Looks like they're feeling it.
It's about an average roll, 3d6. Hit and run has a lot of controversy surrounding it. Nobody seems to have the same opinion of how it operates or any of that stuff. Some people think you pick a point and they all converge on the point. You pick a direction, they all have to stay in line with the direction. I believe it's the direction. And so obviously Steve is trying to go toward this objective. So he has to avoid hitting this bloodthirster. He can't go this way. Like this guy would stop if he comes with an inch. So he has to go this way 11 inches. And like I already tell you that this dude's the farthest dude and he can go 11 inches. So we already know that this little biker is gonna end up here. And that kind of gives you a baseline roughly of this formation scooting back on that line toward this objective.
All right, guys, so here's the end of the hit and run move. I was just able to get one puppy within that Maelstrom objective. Kenny did really good how he had positioned his big heavy hitters, but I did roll an 11. It was just close enough. So now with the invisible Death Star and counterattack, I feel very comfortable with his heavy hitters trying to take me out this turn. And maybe I can inflict some more damage again the next turn.
Top of my turn 3. I have a few tricks up these sleeves. I'm gonna obviously try to sling some sick combos over on the Bloodthirster and the Soul Grinder again. But my main focus this turn is like I'm gonna abandon Shroud. I'm gonna try to create a unit of play drones. I have 2 things I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to assault that Death Star, see if I can't get lucky and break them off the table because they're not fearless, but obviously it's invisible. It's invisible. I think he has a Warlord trait that helps him.
Yeah, he's fearless.
Oh, you're fearless?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The fearless one I can't
you know what? So that's something I'm not going to be able to do this time.
Exactly.
So going to my secondary plan, thank you to my opponent for reminding me, is I'm going to try to sling some summon units over behind him to control his hit and run. Make him hit and run if he chooses to where I want him to, then they kind of put that Death Star into the game for a turn. Another turn. Getting kind of hectic. Got some psychic powers to deliver on. This is going to be a big psychic phase for me. But I do get to recoup some of my dice because I'm not going to be working Shroud this heavy this time. So we'll see if I can pull some extra combos out. We are in the psychic phase. Grimoire is off. Getting lucky there. Hopefully I get a Cursed Earth. Let's see how many dice me and my partner over here Steve's trying to get. 6
Oh my
dice.
god.
I'm going to start with an important one. I don't like the overthink strategy of dice too much. I find that it slows the game down, especially in a tournament scenario. So here's 4 dice on Cursed Earth. 2 passes, my brother. You gonna try to block it?
You got it, man. Here comes everything at you. I gotta stop that crazy shit. There you go.
Good job, brother. No Cursed Earth. Okay, that was a little upsetting. My Soul Grinder is gonna be not relying on a 4+ vulnerable, but let's see if I can't make him invisible. Goes off on 2 dice. Coming in hot. Gonna try to bring in a unit of Plague Drones using Incursion from my Sorcerer. This is risky because I'm throwing 6 dice at it, and I could perils on any doubles. There it is, of course, with the perils. Let's see what I roll. I think that is something that gives me a wound, but luckily I'm not vanished. Other things may happen. I will hit you guys up later. Apparently 2 means I lose a random psychic power. So here's something I want to talk about. We haven't talked about this lately. It's a level 3 psyker. So that means this guy currently knows Cursed Earth, Incursion, and Shroud. That's 3 powers. He also knows Force. A lot of people forget that's a psychic power. Has a card and everything. So I have 4 powers to lose. So I lose a random dice. Sorry, psychic power. I'll use these dice to represent that. This is Shroud, Incursion, Cursed Earth, and Force. I'm gonna roll a d6, re-rolling 5s or 6s to figure out which one I lose. Obviously I lose Force, the thing that it didn't matter. That's why you don't forget Force. So I'm getting kind of ballsy with my placement here. This is where I wanted to go. Cursed Earth got blocked, but I need this unit to be here to channel his hit and run if it comes to that. We'll see if I don't go back into the war. Looks good, brother.
Oh man, nice.
Here's something that a lot of people don't remember. Company of the Great Wolf must always issue or accept challenges. So obviously a challenge had been issued, but here's a clever trick that Steve used on me. He issued a challenge to the Cyberwolf because all Cyberwolves are characters.
Yeah.
So we already rolled all that out. It was pretty boring. Big surprise, Cyberwolves didn't do shit to the Bloodthirster. Next up is my Soul Grinder at Initiative 3, and he has 5 attacks. His unit is invisible, so I needed 6s to hit. There's one good old hit right there. 1 wound at strike 10, AP 2.
Okay, I'm taking it on the Chapter Master Shield.
The old shield eternal.
Here comes her multi-bombs, hitting on 6s because both squads are invisible.
Oh, that's why visibility matters.
Yep. Okay, next will be the Strength 10 AP1 servo arm attacks.
Good old 6s to hit.
Oh yeah.
Come through.
Oh well. Okay, I still have Chapter Master left. Here comes the Thunder Hammer.
There it is.
All right. Okay, let's see if he can make it happen.
He does nuts.
Oh.
D-Thirster. About to sling some attacks into this Cyberwolf he's in a challenge with. I need 6s to hit though, because he is invisible. There's 2 hits. Converting on D, anything but. So obviously I kill 1 Cyberwolf.
Wow. That could have been a lot worse. Okay, it's time for some hit and run. Like Kenny said, he has limited my movement, but obviously being able to get out of this combat is going to give me some options that I need at this point in the game.
Oh, the one roll to fail. It happens once every game.
Yep. Oh well. I'll just have to suck it up for a turn.
That was a lot of luck that he failed his hit and run. Not too worried about it because I was trying to mitigate it anyway. I was prepared to lose those plague drones, those spot. The fact that I'm not losing them gives me a free option. I'm pretty happy with this turn. I'm really happy with the combos of my psychic powers and what's happening here. I'm in a dominant position with picking up progressive points. I don't think he can catch up to me after this turn, but there are more elements to this game than just progressive objectives.
Okay, so I rolled for my reserves, and the 5-man Rhino squad came in. So as you can see here, I brought them on top of my Emperor's Will objective. I need to get them there. As I said, I've kind of abandoned the Maelstrom. Kenny's army just takes up so much more board space. I am not going to be able to win the game going for that. So I really need to focus on the other objectives and the bonus points. So this turn is the shortest movement phase I can remember in a long time. So we will go to the psychic phase and then right back to hand. Okay, so here I'm going to roll for my warp charge. I really need to get invisibility up this time.
5 is going to be crucial.
Yeah, that's what I needed. All right, I'm putting everything on the roll for invisibility. Time for some 4+.
Ooh, 3 passes, 4 passes. That's
That's
hard
what
math.
I needed.
It's kind of like one of my friends, Kelsey, Master Shake, one of our friends on the show, he talks about. You get 4 passes, it doesn't matter. That's like 24 psychic dice to stop. Even though I have more psychic dice than Steve, I don't have that many more. Like I start with 9. So I need to get a really lucky roll this turn to stop this invisibility if I'm going to start winning this combat. Four 6s. Just 3.
Wow.
So close.
Oh man. Thank the Emperor.
Silly Cyberwolves. Issuing challenges all over my bloodthirster. A bunch of Cyberwolves swung, they didn't do anything. Next up is my Soul Grinder. Of course, I need 6s to hit. There's 1 hit. Soul Grinder's a beast. Converting on 1 wound for old Steve Turner.
Okay, taking it on the Chapter Master Storm Shield.
Oh no, he's not instant killed. He used Eternal Warrior because
Yeah.
of the Shield Eternal.
He will get a shot at it, will not die at the end of this turn.
Because of the Warlord trait. It's so good.
Exactly. Okay, so here comes some Melt-A-Bomb buff for Mr. Soul Grinder.
Ah. He doesn't like it when you use his formal title. 1 hit though.
That could be enough. Okay, let's see what happens. That one's cocked.
Leader.
Oh!
7 will do it, brother. That's a pen. Soul Grinder's feeling like he's about to bang out a flat post immontable. Ah, so sad.
Right. I'd love to see a 5+ right now.
What is that? Mobilized Soul Grinder. That's rough because the hit and run will leave him out of combat.
Exactly. Okay. Okay, it's time for the Iron Priest to go to work with their Strength 10. Looking for some 6s? Oh, man!
3 6s.
All right, guys. Strength 10, I think it's over for old Mr. Soul Grinder.
You can just call him Soul Grinder. So 3s are better.
You know him well.
2 pens. For the love of all things chaos, give me some 5-0 plus love right now. There it is, sucker. Eat that, you stupid corpse god worshipping emperor fanboy.
It happens. Okay, Chapter Master still left to go.
Oh,
he stuck one. It's time for him to come through and finish off that sucker.
Oh, he's a buster.
Damn.
Senor El Bloodthirster. That's his proper title. He's gonna come in with his 6 attacks in his challenge. 6 to hit, of course. He doesn't play games. Anything but from the D weapon. Still only kills 1 puppy, man. He is the world's not Not angry as Bloodthirster?
Okay, I'm going for the hit and run. That will get me out of base contact with the immobilized Soul Grinder. Basically,
That's sad times, brother. That's cold-blooded.
Yeah, so
Cold as
anything
ice.
but. All right. So we got that. So let's see how far we move.
Move all the inches you want, brother. You can only go one way.
We're away from Mr. Soul Grinder.
Yo, Soul Grinder, you can call him Mr. Soul Grinder.
All right. As luck would have it, Chapter Master made his It Will Not Die roll, giving the L bird to Mr. Soul Grinder. And
Mr. Soul Grinder to you, for sure.
it is. It is. Mr. Soul Grinder can provide some moral support now. That's about it. And as you can see, I just moved back, tried to spread them out and see what Kenny does this turn.
What about your Warlord trade?
Yeah. He made his It Will Not Die this turn.
That's what happened.
Exactly.
I'm pretty upset about that. No,
I'm sure you are. It pretty much negated everything.
Mr. Soul Grinder's butthurt Larry. That was a little upsetting. For me as a Chaos player, anytime one of my walkers gets immobilized, I get really sad. I do have some tricks up my sleeve still. Like, I'm going to try to box this Super Friends unit in. The success here, this is like one of those weaknesses of a Death Star that I'm exploiting right now. Is like he has thousands of points of his army, like at least 1,000 points locked into this unit. Now, of course, I'm using 1,000 points of my army to fight it, but my 1,000 points can break off at the last second and do things. I've definitely taken the lead on progressives. I don't think he's ever going to catch me on that. I now have to start making some really difficult decisions on what I'm going to do with his Rhino and stuff coming in for the center. But I still like, if this Super Friends unit breaks through just one turn and I don't get invisibility or I don't get my power combo, it can actually kill like every model in my army. That's something that's real. Here it is. I am surrounding the Super Friends for a turn. Unfortunately, I can't get behind them, so they'll be able to, once they suck in, they'll be able to hit and run back to their own board edge. Like, because you only have to move up to the distance you roll, and you can't break off the tables anyway. So I'll be able to control them one more turn. The linchpin of this strategy, though, is I need to sling an invisibility on this Bloodthirster. So let's see how many warp charge points I get to accomplish this task. 6. 6 is more than I want to roll, honestly. I want to be rolling 1. I don't want to give Steve 6. Not a lot of dice rolls I need left. I don't feel like I need to put my sorcerer in a position for Cursed Earth because the Bloodthirster currently is Grimoire. Passed it 3 times in a row. I was getting a little nervous. Like if I failed it, I would have put Cursed Earth on him to restabilize his invulnerable. But he's a 3 up invulnerable and his Warlord, his gift is reroll invulnerables and 4+ fatal pain. I don't care. But what I want to make it essentially impossible to deal with him. I feel that that's impossible. So as I'm talking, I'm going to change my plan. I'm going to throw invisibility on this unit of spawn right here because I don't want him to come in on me. I want to force him to stay on that side of the table and charge what's back there. So I've got 6 dice. Honestly, I'm going to throw this many dice in invisibility. Goes off on 3.
I'm letting that go. There's very slim odds I could get that, even with the extra 6.
And obviously the tactic here is he's just not going to charge them now too, so he doesn't care. The next thing I'm going to do is bang out this incursion from my sorcerer in the backfield over there. My idea is to bring in Screamers. We'll see what happens. Goes off on 3.
Okay, I'm going to chuck everything at it. All right. Let's see if this is a combination of the 2 Space Marine Librarians can stop it.
This is why I don't like giving people 6 dice. Free incursion.
Oh well.
Let's see. The Screamer is chilling right here. Let's see what I roll. He lives right there.
Nice.
Now my shooting phase. These Screamers are going to turn boost up to 24 inches. And they're going to get all over this Rhino. Because combination. Line breaker is a thing. And if I can deal with this Rhino, that's one step towards eliminating this objective from him. I do have to complete the trap. So I need to run the spawn. I have fleet. 6, obviously that's good enough. I try to trap them, hit and run style. I'm gonna run these guys over here. 3. I have a rule. I always roll a 3 with fleet. Well, sometimes that happens. But same thing should happen here. And now we're going to go into the assault phase. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assault move these plague drones over here. That's 2d6. They get to move another 5 inches for free. And this just kind of gives me that free movement to like completely reiterate that the silly Emperor worshippers are completely trapped in this combat. And the only place they can go is their own board edge.
All right, here comes some grab gun fun to Mr. Your Bloodthirster Snake.
Senor El Bloodthirstero. Let's see, man, it's not firing this Overwatch.
You know Grab loves that armor.
Couple of hits, 3 hits.
Yes, sir. Just gonna move these out of the way. So, this is when you love those demons with the good armor. Two wounds.
2 wounds, got it. Bloodthirster's going to use his invulnerable save because of his demonic gift that lets him reroll it, and the Grimoire made it a 3-up. So 3-up invulnerable with rerolls. Rerolls. Takes a wound. Here's the best part. 4-up feel no pain from his other gift. Feeling icy.
Dang. All right, so here comes the bolters. They're twin linked. So there's 1 hit. Okay. So then I also have the bolt pistols on the Iron Priest.
Ooh.
There's 2 hits.
2 hits. Strike forward. Needed 6s to wound my T6.
Yes, sir.
Let's see it, brother.
Okay. Need those 6s. Nope.
Bloodthirster. El Senor Bloodthirster is coming in hot. Obviously, the first thing that happens before Initiative 10 is challenges. He is coming to the Grey Wolf. He has to issue a challenge with coming to the Grey Wolf. Engaged models only. Only his Rune Priest is engaged. This is very fortunate for me. So, I'm going to be able to fight against his Rune Priest. Even though all his guys get to swing on me, as per the 7th edition ruling, I have an opportunity to kill his Rune Priest. And I get to even put an impact hit on him. So we'll see what happens. Impact hit. Auto hit. Strength 6. Needs a 3. Put a wound on the old runic armor stupid Rune Priest.
Right. This is where hopefully taking the runic armor pays off.
It does.
Woo!
And now I have a whole bunch of attacks higher than Initiative 1 to eat before I get to swing on that Rune Priest.
That's right. Okay, here comes the melter bombs to D-Thirster's face. Kenny probably didn't use invisibility, counting on the high weapon skill of the Bloodthirster. Probably needed 5s.
Reroll that leaner. Nope.
Okay.
That's what happens.
Yeah, it happens. Okay, here comes some turbo arms.
You don't want to use the Thunder Hammer?
Yeah, I'll use the Thunder Hammer.
It actually doesn't matter on Initiative 1. So.
Yeah, correct.
5's the hit. Just 1. Let's see. Straight 10, man. 2 up.
Got it.
Bloodthirster takes a wound.
Woohoo!
Bloodthirster. Grimoire down to a 3 vulnerable. Fine. 6 always passes.
Nice. Okay, I still have my Chapter Master. He's weapon skill 6, so he's hitting on 4s. So here's a really good opportunity to put some pain on the Thirster. All right.
Good roll. See what happens.
2s. There we go.
Bloodthirster. Senor Bloodthirster. Was it 3 wounds or 2?
3.
3.
And this will concuss him. Which doesn't matter.
3 up invulnerables like a beast.
Oh!
Demonic Gift allows me to reroll my invulnerables. Beast mode.
Oh, nice.
So this is what I'm waiting for. I'm in a challenge with that Rune Priest. Let's see if I can't kill his ass. I have 8 attacks. I need 6s to hit though because he's still invisible. Please give me some 6s. Thank you. So anything but here will instantly kill him, and these will spill out of the challenge if I get 2. So I kill the Rune Priest, and whoever he wants next touching the Rune Priest can take this. Looks like he has a Storm Shield guy, so I bet he can just take a 3 vulnerable if he wants.
Okay, here comes 3+.
It's good.
All right, here comes hit and run. Oh, almost failed it. Doesn't really matter how far I fall back. I just need to get out of the combat. There we go.
Not bad. Obviously, I finally killed somebody. Pretty happy about that. He's down on Psychic Dice. I feel pretty good about stopping his invisibility now. He's have to get pretty lucky. Unless that was even the guy with it. Which I don't think. Actually, Space Wolves, they don't get teleporting, do they?
No, they don't.
So, he still has invisibility. but it's harder for him to pass. Easier for me to block. I feel pretty good about that turn, boxing in this unit. I know he's going to spring on the middle of the table, and I don't have a lot. I have some OBJ, but I don't know if I'm allowed to take 3/7 objectives or not. So I'm gonna do my best to stop him.
Okay, it's turn 4, so the last reserved unit automatically comes in. Obviously, I need to hold that center with an objective secured unit, and I was able to pass my dangerous terrain check going over the piece of terrain, so I think everybody knows where that rhino's headed. Okay, let's see some warp charge.
That's good for me, bad for Steve. I'll probably get a shutdown of his ability. He's only got 3 dice to cast a level 2 spell on.
I need some 4+ right now.
Nope.
Oh.
That's bound to happen once again.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're going to crush me out with his assault, but I might be able to retaliate.
Exactly. All right, guys. Kenny left a little chink in his armor that I'm going to try to take advantage of. There was just enough of a gap that
Yeah, it
the
looks like you were
wolves
able to
could
sneak
swing
in.
in.
40mm bases got snuck through. And what's crazy is it looks like your 60s can't get through, but they can when they charge.
Exactly.
So you're pretty smart, Steve. I'm going to give you credit on that one.
Right. So I need to take out those screamers because that's a big threat on my Rhino with the tactical marines inside holding my Emperor's Will. And what I'm going to do is everything else is going up against the plague drones. I want to hit his weaker units that haven't been buffed and just try to clear out now. Okay, we measured. I need a 7. Just got it. Woo!
Good job, brother.
All right, guys, here comes Hammer Wrap. 4, string 5.
Yep.
And this is up against the plague drone, so I need 4s.
Silly strength 5 impact hits. I'll start off on this plague drone over here. It needs 5+ invulnerables. He takes 2 wounds. They have 3 wounds each. We're already 2 wounds down. We haven't even started swinging.
All right. Here comes some craft gunners swinging into those plague drones, taking advantage of their higher initiative. Okay, so I'll pick up the hits. What's their weapon skill, Kenny?
Less than you.
Okay, so I need 3s, which just helps with the toughness 5. Okay.
The old 5's the wound check.
Oh,
How many? 2?
2. I'll take it.
Okay, so now, looks like unfortunately this initiative step, still the same guy. That was poor decision making on my part, but here's 5 up saves. He's dead. Next guy takes a wound. All my stuff is up next. I'm gonna start off with the 2 plague drones I have. They need 4s to hit. And 4s to wound because of poison. So far, Steve has 2 saves to make. And coming up next is the Screamers, who also have a buttload of attacks. They're not doing so well in hits though. And they need toughness 5. They need 5s to wound. Oh, so that time, at this initiative step, Steve's got this many saves to make.
All right, guys, it's time to try to see if the Chapter Master can tank these. He's got his 2+, plus the Feel No Pain from the Apothecary, and then at the end of this turn, due to my Warlord trait, I'll also get 1 roll on It Will Not Die if I do take 1.
So yeah, 1 by 1 is the way to do it here with this. With look how sir. This is, and then yeah, it's really hard to deal with. Seems good.
Ooh.
Needless to say, I failed this. I lost this combat. I lost it by 9. So the old Screamers back here in the corner, down to +1 instability check. They roll a 7, so that means they lose 5 wounds. That's 2 each, 2, 4, 6. I actually have 1 wound left on the Screamer.
All right, Assault Phase went as planned. I just Thunderhammered the Plague Drones out of there. Didn't put a lot of wounds on the Screamers, but they had to eat it to the face with the instability check. Then I used a hit and run to give myself some separation from his other units. I'm not invisible now, so I really want to try to limit the damage that he could do, say potentially with spawns and Thirster. And I also flat outed my Rhino, making that move towards the objective in the center of the table.
I don't know. I'm fighting for my life here. I'm gonna probably have to think about what I want to do with those peak hordes in the backfield, take my own blue objective, or move to the center. We're going to send the objective secure unit to the center. I'm going to try to slingshot some, units back to the backfields. I'm probably going to have to actually make another Herald. I don't know. There's so many things to think about this turn in order to maximize my victory. No matter what I do, I can never take points away from Steve. He's always going to have first blood. He's always going to always tie me on, I would say, the Emperor's Will. And he's probably going to get line breaker. So I'm doing my best to get as many points as I can, like we talk about with claw and script for every point. And this is also a team game that we're playing testing, so you just got to do your best. Veterans, bad news. I failed the Grimoire on the Bloodthirster. He's down to a 6-7 vulnerable. Not good, but I've got backup plans. Let me first off start by seeing how many war charge points I have. That'll determine my game plan. Six is good. It's also good for Steve. That brings you back up to 8. All right, man. First things first. Let's make this Bloodthirster invisible. Need 2 passes. Yeah, I'll take 4.
I'm gonna let that ride.
Oh yeah. So currently the Bloodthirster's at a 6+ invulnerable. My goal is to throw out a curse direct, bring him back to a 5. Goes off on 2. I'm sure Steve might throw his dice at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically chuck everything at this. Right. Looking for some 6s. Got it. Wow.
Oh, you would have blocked invisibility.
I know.
That's awkward. So this is gonna be this is a pretty big play here. I need to bring in a demonic herald with sacrifice. Comes in, and that's gonna be that's really powerful because that's gonna let me do a couple extra things this turn. I feel like that's essentially a game winner. Let's see what happens, guys. I'll take that. 4-inch scatter. Still within 3 inches of the objective. That's all I wanted.
All right. Okay, so here comes Meltabomb to the face. Needing 6s. There's 1.
See if you want me.
All right. Just needed 2+. Off table.
Oh, then the brakes. Well, you got more attacks. You got like
Okay. Here comes the Iron Priest. 1 Iron Priest is in range, so it's swing. Oh!
Ooh.
So 2+.
It's on 2's like the beast that he is.
All right.
I'll just make him as they come. I already took a wound from his Overwatch. My invulnerable save is down to a 5. I do get to reroll invulnerables. Beast.
Nice.
So now what? Chapter Master swinging?
Yeah. Chapter Master.
Sucker.
Oh well.
The D-Thirster finally gets the hit on 3s. I hope he doesn't embarrass himself. 3's the hit. I'll take that, math. Okay, so he has nothing but guys in base with me that I would love to murder. So this is anything but. Please give me some 6s. There's 2 6s and 2 butts.
Okay.
So I believe, do I get to decide the order of operations still? No, I don't believe I do. I believe Steve gets to do whatever he wants here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take the Apothecary and 1 Grab Gunner, and then I'll take 2 3+ Storm Shield saves.
Word.
Okay.
So we know that 1 Grab Gunner and the reason why I'm taking the Apothecary is because against speed, that they'll cut the paint.
It just doesn't matter against D weapons. So 2 3
here's 3
up.
up. Oh!
Literally killed 4 guys in this combat. Killed the entire command squad down to 1 guy.
Right.
All right, this is my turn 5. I did the most amount of damage I could do with the Bloodthirster. I was really happy with that. He did hit and run out. I like to call it running away.
Well, I'm going for some paint demons over there, Kenny.
I know, but I mean, Mr. Bloodthirster is not happy.
He did some damage for sure.
One of the best things I did this turn is this little combination over here. 10 spawns surrounded this rhino. Steve didn't see it coming with the charges and everything with his fleet, and it ended up being 75 strength 5 attacks with random mutation rolls and rage. We whole pointed it out, surrounded it. He had nowhere to go. So that's total close hatch.
The old close hatch.
The old close hatch. So we killed 10 Space Marines with that, and I did make that Herald. So I feel like I'm in a good position for turn 5. I want to see what Steve has for me.
Okay, that was a pretty rough turn. I lost 10 Space Marines to forgot about that old
tactic, but I still have some tricks up my sleeve, and it's time for my Death Star to go into Voltron formation, and I'm having to try to play the late game tactics and try to put myself in a position to score as many points as possible now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try to see, well, first I have to see how much warp charge I get. If I get enough warp charge, I can try to snipe the Bloodthirster with Terrify combined with Psychic Shriek. And if I roll low, then I'll just try to get invisibility off on my Death Star again.
Well, you mean the reverse of that. You need a higher roll for invisibility.
Exactly, you're right, I'm sorry. Good point.
Everyone was tracking.
Okay, cool. And as you can see, I'm going to try to obliterate those horrors with the assault phase so that I can tie Kenny on the objective for the center, and we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, here's the roll for warp charge. I really need a high roll. Ooh. Okay, here goes my roll to Shriek the Thirster.
2 successes, not bad. I technically need 12 dice. I have 11 though. I'll throw them down right here. Looks like I got enough 6s.
Good job, Kenny.
It's pretty rough. Got a lot of Hammer Wrath coming my way and a substantial amount of quality attacks. I don't know if these these horrors are going to make it this turn.
I don't think it looks that good for him, to be honest, Kenny.
I lost approximately 13 guys. Started with a 16-man squad. Lost a couple from sacrifice. I have 3 left. I'm a Snake Eyes instability check. They're dead.
Hey.
He wiped them out.
Easy come, easy go.
It's been rough. I've had a lot of fun with this game. Let's see if it ends, Steve.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
Oh,
Game ends, man. It's been a tight game, Steve.
Good game, Kenny.
Hey, brother. The game has come to an end. It's been a pretty solid game. 5 turns of bloodbath action. The Imperium versus Chaos. Playing the ATC Mission 1. The way it breaks down is Kenny wins. Only narrowly, though. Looks like I win on progressive objectives, that's 10 points. I tie Steve on the base objective, and I also tie him on the center objective. He also got First Blood. We both got Linebreaker, which is a tie. Neither got Warlord. Which default in this mission is you no ties if neither one of us gets it. So the final score is something like 21-13. Kenny wins, Steve loses, but I just want to mention that this is a team mission that we're playtesting. Steve still locked down 13 points for his team and lost.
Exactly, and we knew that it was going to be really hard for me to get the Maelstrom with the Death Star army versus all that Kenny could put on the table. So I think I really did good focusing on the objectives that I selected and was able to score a substantial amount of points for the ATC style mission.
Yo guys, Rob Bear here. I'm stepping back out from behind the camera, so I've been here the whole time. But man, I'll tell you what, I am so glad that I got to watch this game. It was incredible. So many mechanics going on, so much stuff. So it was really cool to see Steve, coming down off of the message boards and things like that and hanging out in real life. We only get to see each other a couple times a year. And it's been a real treat, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, so hopefully we can do this again sometime. But I tell you what, man, exciting game. It was a little bit of a heartbreaker there at the end, but you hung in there. What do you think you could have done differently, as far as I guess some tactics and things like positioning? Obviously you got with the Rhino a little bit.
Yeah, I would say the Rhino, I should have not just gone straight at the center objective, but I got a little greedy there, and I just forgot about the speed of the spawns and how many attacks, and I think that was really my only mistake. I had some bad dice rolls. Kenny set some really crazy saves when he needed them, but I think my army did really well against his, and any time that I get to take out my White Scars and Space Wolves is a good time for me.
It's it was a really engaging game to see a lot of different mechanics, and I'm thinking you basically you got all the psychic powers you needed. Do you feel like there was something else you could have done, maybe just a little different as far as tactics or things like that?
I'm pretty glad how I played it out. I think that was the right way to go. It's just, like I said, I failed some clutch saves when I needed them, and Kenny definitely made, you saw when he rolled like the 5 and the 6 for the Bloodthirster. So, I mean, if I had taken that Thirster out, it could have definitely changed the whole dynamics of the game, the late stages of the game.
I agree totally. Well, man, it was a great game, and we're so awesome to have you here, man. Thanks so much for coming out.
Thank you.
No problem, dude. All right, guys, we're here in the winner's circle with Kenny Boucher, and you got to play Chaos.
Yeah, I want to echo the sentiments of Steve Turner. Any day I get to play Chaos is a good day.
I think a lot of people said in the last battle report, the Necrons one, where they definitely picked up on the fact that you were not happy playing as a Necron.
My heart wasn't in it with those skinny little Xenos tools. I just hate them so much.
I think, and I'm sure some of our listeners and readers online and stuff like that can definitely sympathize with us. Do you feel like some people just basically are meant to play certain armies?
I believe that's something that, that's a really deep question, honestly. Like, back in the day, people were known for something like, I was a Chaos player, Steve was a Blood Angel player, you were an Iron Force player. Like, it is what it was. But with the rapid fire codex releases and like how many fresh models are coming out, people are kind of just Warhammer players. People are just Warhammer players.
We're all being the 40K fat kids going up to the 40K buffet.
It's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just I really wish some loyalty would come back to the factions. I want to say this is something spicy. Every time an Eldar Codex comes out, everyone is a long-time OG Eldar player all of a sudden. So that to me summarizes the problem.
That's there's definitely a lot to be said there. So you got to play not only Chaos, but who'd you get to play with?
I mean, I got to play with the D-Thirster. Mm-hmm. I got to play with the Soul Grinder. This was a very fun army list for me to build, and I was really excited to put the models together, convert the Bloodthirster that I built a long time ago into a new base. I got to use them on the new base size. I got to use my new Slender Soul Grinder in a base. Like, I was just really happy about the hobby element of this. The movement game was just so unlocked. So at one point, like, me and Steve were just cat and mouse, because when you get these types of second powers off, it's really about who gets that run opportunity to strike, and it very fortunately came to me. Made a couple of clutch die rolls in a couple of clutch situations, and I was able to convert when I needed to. That's just good fortune. Like, other than that, I just love moving my models around, being fast. I love when my whole Chaos army was just looking at the Imperials like, do something. Like,
just kind of caged them up in the corner there.
Chaos has no fear. No. And because of my psychic loadout and my gifts, I was able to play Chaos today like I had no fear. Something I want to also touch on is like the gifts. I like to roll my gifts before my second power so I can be able to play them. Because I got reroll invulnerables in 4+ Fatal Pain, it let me just immediately just say aggressive mode. Like, I can be a little bit cagey with my rest of my die rolls. I can see if I get lucky on a couple of rolls. If I didn't roll those powers, I would have rolled everything on Biomancy and just flown the Bloodthirster around until I needed him to be where he needed to be, assuming he also had invisibility. So this game is one way to play the game out of 1,000 ways it could have gone with the die rolls. But I love anytime I get to play Chaos, like, with aggression and fearlessness.
I think this game was played so awesome, and I'm really glad actually that you rolled it that way, because I would have preferred to see the game go the way it went, with more interaction with the D-Thirster, because there's a lot of people online saying, he sucks, well, whatever. And obviously I'm a Chaos player too. I know I don't have the tattoo and the awesome feel, but I actually love Chaos myself. So that was really cool to see. Now, you touched on it kind of briefly there in some what you just said a second ago. But where do you think, you had him penned up, where do you think the momentum shifted when the invisibility didn't go off?
Once I got that charge off and he had to accept with the Rune Priest,
mm-hmm.
I took those 2 dice from him, and he was unable to get invisibility off the very next turn. That was the momentum shift that immediately made him get defensive, and that allowed the Bloodthirster to do some real damage. That, and additionally, trapping the Death Star, not letting them hit and run the way he wanted to for essentially 3 turns. That's essentially the only reason I was able to win. My movement, my mastermind behind my movement was all designed to stop hit and run from going off the way he wanted to go off, and it goes off only if I can control the way he hit and runs. That means I can make plans for the next turns based on that. That's how I win the game.
Well, I think a lot of people learned a lot of things today. I know I picked up a few more, really cool tactics and tips for playing with hit and run and against hit and run, and a lot of different other tactics there. So thank you. That was a really exciting game to watch. Probably one of our most exciting games yet.
Just real quick, I mean, the Saw Grinder getting immobilized, he ended up being the anchor.
Yep,
I mean,
the
he was
anchor
like
to the
this
blockade.
big. He was like a 9 inches of you can't hit and run this direction for like 2 turns. So it ended up just working out. So.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of things went your way, whether it was the most randomest stuff to the stuff you had to actually work for your way. So again, a really exciting game.
Better lucky than good. That's what they say.
I have heard that a couple of times. All right, well that's it for this one, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video as much as we did making it. If you haven't done so already, head on over to the longwar.net. That's our website where we have exclusive content and early access videos. Become a veteran of the Long War today.